Good morning. Welcome to hopefully a much more calm and warmer week and maybe with a little less COVID. Um, this week, we're talking about typography. But first, let's look at last week's assignment on the business cards. Mostly you did really, really well, just a couple of tweaks here or there. Also, next week, or this week, the assignment is a 8.5 by 11 flyer, and this is all cumulative. Same thing with spaces and alignment, just different information and actually some more information for you to work with. Anyway, let us, without further ado, go to last week's assignment. Okay, off the top, Isabel, this is where it becomes a little difficult for me when you have a really interesting idea that kind of breaks the rules. I mean, if you're going to break some rules, do it for a reason, and I wish I knew the reason, because this is like two different projects, and maybe that's eye-catching, and maybe you want that. I'm just not sure. For what it is, it's well done. I might also make your name bigger than the other side. I won't take off for that because that detracts from the idea. One thing I will say content-wise, and I grade this on the technical side, is, okay, what do you do beyond just be in school? Are you a designer? Are you a full-time student? I just like to see a little bit more about who and what you are. But I'll give you a lot of credit for creativity, and I won't take off for breaking the rules. Excellent. This is what we call a reverse. Publication designer, that's really good. You read right across it, the little circles pull you into it, so it's okay. The one question I have is whether or not your name and publication designer are truly lined up. It looks like you're maybe a half space in over here. Not sure, but that's the one quibble I have. Really good work. That's all we need. Boom, boom. Everything you need right here. I might make your name a little bold on top, but I'm not going to take off for that. Everything's there. Okay, Lily's is a little on the small side. Hard to see, and that's something we need to check with. Okay, even downloading it just looks small. Not sure about the squares. Again, I can't tell the content. What I can see, though, is that these three areas or these four areas are not lined up. This one to the left sticks out a little bit. It needs to line up. Okay. We know this is a square thing. We have two other squares. What do they add to the design? They separate these things, which your spaces already separate them. It looks like this is a wider space over here and a wider space and a narrower space here. Spacing looks a little off. And this box, you can see the content in this box is to the right of the content in this box. If you're going to center, really center it. And the two boxes aren't centered. So we have some issues here. Okay, another small one. I'll try to blow it up. I mean, I'll blow it up separately, but it looks hard for me to read. Website building, Lindsay Michiel, that's good. Need to use that's fine. I might make this even bigger, and I might change this to make a little bolder here, because it's all pretty much the same and it doesn't really move much. It's okay. I mean, you've done the spacing right. I'd like to see a little bit more, like I say, make that bold and maybe that bold to give you a rhythm, as we talked about in the book. Okay, there you go. And you read across, very nice, no problem. Again, your name's a little bigger than the other things, that's all good. There you go. That's, I see nothing really wrong with that, because this really stands out. You could put it back here, but I won't take off for that. Again, if you read across, it's fine. Okay, there you go. Yes, logo for the company, we can do that later. Still, this is a light font, this is a darker font. The two fight for attention, so you really need to make that big and bold. And these spaces are a little far apart. They're all, you know, things that should be together. Pull these together just a little bit more. Pull these together a little bit more, move that a little bit up, make your top really dominant. Okay, this is, again, this is what alignment's about. University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. If the communications department is part of Tennessee and Chattanooga, these two things should be together. This should be centered too. This communications department goes with UTC. Again, if this is centered, so should this. Or this should be flush left, the same as this. Again, these two things should be together. This communications department just kind of floats. Also, your name and the headline, same size. You don't know where to look. Make this big and bold, or a little bigger and bolder. Push this together. And the spot on as on the ID at the bottom. No problem with that. Okay, we've done the circle. I appreciate it. I'll post the lecture on typography in about an hour. I'll see you then.